Here's your host, Alex Garrett.
When talking about the Heisman Trophy, I couldn't think of a better man to play than Sam Spence's classic battle. Hi, it's Alex Garrett, and I want to shine a light on something I got to do just about a week ago. And if you follow me on Instagram, AlexGNYC1, or on TikTok, same handle, AlexGNYC1, you might have heard this. Well, I've done a lot of videos from the outside of this glass, but I finally was able to get inside next to the Heisman Trophy right here. And I don't know who's going to win it this year, but I'll tell you what, this is a very special experience. Thank you, Heisman Foundation, for letting me inside to do a quick little video for you guys of the real Heisman Trophy right here at 111 Broadway. There you go. Right outside, right inside 111 Broadway, down the hall from where I normally go upstairs to work. They let me behind the glass of the Heisman Trophy Trust, and then they gave me this journal that was handed out at last year's, dinner, the whole event, where, of course, Bryce Young of Alabama won the 2021 Heisman. And I couldn't think about, as I was reading, I couldn't think about how there are so many odds and so many bets about who's going to win the Heisman that people don't realize how big of a deal it is the Heisman Trust exists. The Heisman was actually a trophy started by the Downtown Athletic Club. And then when the DAC went bankrupt, the Heisman Trophy Trust was formed, taken over about 20 years ago. And now, continuing 20 years later, after that, the trust is thriving. So much so, I don't know if you know this or not, but the Heisman Trophy Trust truly is a trust. It's not just an award given out every December after the college's regular season. It's a real foundation, a real trust that supports not only the college kids, but the high school kids. Not only them, but kids in the community and organizations in the community. They, in fact, have partnered for 5 years now with New York City Community Trust, bringing sports programs to the less fortunate and those in need. And they've also, through all of this, have donated, get this, $20 million to hundreds of organizations throughout the U.S. And last year alone, $2 million in 21 alone. Very special. And it's very special that groups like in New Rochelle or in actually the American Youth Table Tennis Organization, the Team First and Foundation, and others that you can just find at Heisman.com, I believe, that you can find out exactly if you donate to the Heisman Trophy Trust, your money will go to a good cause. And to me, I always saw this as a trophy of someone, of John W. Heisman, of whom the trophy is named after. I always saw it as this amazing trophy. But they exist beyond just the presentations and the dinners. They have initiatives that they're doing to support, and they'll go a step further. Did you know also that they give out, and this is very cool, the Heisman High School Scholarship, assuring 2 kids graduating in the following year as a senior will have a scholarship to college. How cool is that? How cool is that? They are literally helping. They are literally helping today's, I don't know if you want to, Joey Burrow, the Heisman winner. They're literally helping form today's Heisman winners by showing them that even in high school, they can be a Heisman winning student. I think that's cool. I get chills talking about it because, again, you just think it's just we all just think it's just a trophy. But it's more than that. It's a trophy that's enabled many, many lives and many organizations to be changed through the Heisman. And I think that's pretty special. And they're going to award their 88th this year. You know, the odds are on C.J. Stroud of Ohio State. They had a big comeback against Penn State this weekend. Bryce Young, again, a topic of conversation, as that kid's been battling it out every week for Alabama. And then you see that alongside the gridiron talk, baseballers and NASCAR racers have been called Heisman humanitarians. For instance, Curtis Granderson was last year's Heisman humanitarian, former Yankee, Met, Tiger. He actually has a foundation called the Grandkids Foundation, which I love to hear about, and it inspires me to reach out to more through the Heisman connections, and see what that's about. And by the way, the Heisman also supports the New York Special Olympics, which is very cool. Very cool. They also have programs that help girls get into sports. How cool is that? They reach out to programs that help girls get into sports as well. If you look it up on YouTube or on Google, try One TRI. It's about a triathlon foundation that the Heisman Trophy Trust supports as well. But you know, as I mentioned, it goes beyond the gridiron. Jeff Gordon, 2012, Heisman humanitarian. Okay, so this trophy, while it's a beautiful trophy to stand next to, and it was very exciting and almost humbling to do so, especially in my Notre Dame Irish shirt. I mean, Paul Hornung, 1956 Heisman winner, played a ton of positions. He, if I get my stats right, which I laid out on my Instagram, AlexGNYC1. If I get my stats right here, the future first-round drafter of the Packers, and of course future NFL Hall of Famer Paul Hornung, led Notre Dame football offensively in passing, rushing, scoring, kickoff, and punt returns, and even punting in 1956. He also played some defense, led in passes broken up, scored second in interceptions, and tackles as part of Notre Dame football. That is very cool. That Paul Hornung, despite a 2-8 unranked Notre Dame team, stood out and became an overall number 1 draft pick in the NFL draft later that, I guess, the following year in the draft. And then I realized that the Four Horsemen of Notre Dame, you might know that term, the Four Horsemen of Notre Dame, actually had a hand in approving the design of the Heisman Trophy. How cool is that? So, Heisman Trophy Trust, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be behind the scenes there for a minute. And as a thank you, I want to take people behind the scenes of what you're doing every year surrounding the Heisman Trophy. It's not just named after John W. Heisman. It's not just given out to star athletes like, I don't know, Robert Griffin III 10 years ago, or Mr. Joe Burrow a few years ago, or Bryce last year, Devontae, Smith a few years ago. You're doing more than just that. You're in the community. And I think that should be highlighted big time. Absolutely big time. And I'm going to actually link people to your website, Heisman.com, the Heisman-Trust, and they'll find out more. You'll read their mission statement. Our goal through these charitable endeavors is for the Heisman Trophy to symbolize the fostering of a community responsibility and service to our youth, especially those disadvantaged or with special needs. So to those part of the trust ensuring that year in and year out, that opportunity-based mission at the Heisman Trophy, kudos to you. And to the average watcher out there wondering who's going to win the Heisman, remember, the trust is more than just a trophy. It's a community. I'm Alex Garrett. We'll have Terminello's take later today to discuss all of this and the fact that the Phillies beat up on the Astros 7-0, 5 homers, the 1,000th homer hit in the World Series in history. That one was by Alec Baum. Bryce led it off with a 2-runner himself. I mean, what a resurgence he's had. We'll talk to Lou about that and why the Nets fired Steve Nash. Oh my. A lot of changes going on in Brooklyn, and we'll have Terminello's take on all of this. But again, Heisman.com.